cosmic peace in war times. We are now back with part 12, all right, of Malachi York letters. So, let's keep it going, all right? This passage is speaking in the future when true culture is established in Africa on planet Earth. This excludes Mr. York for a few reasons, okay? One, being York told his mentally dead, followers, they, not all, were going to planet Rizq to live, and some would come back based on the faulty book of Revelations, which was copied from the Hindu writings of sage Narada, who was the moon god Tahuti incarnated. Secondly, this passage says the king or queen would be an incarnation of Nupu, 9 mind mental energies, / oh my god particles, ultra high energy cosmic rays according to science, because they are not spirits at this time. Again, York is not the one, Guru. Stop telling these lies, sir. Listen to reason. We Africans by race need the ability, knowledge, and guidance of sound right reason called Nupu, and our science known as noon, in order to be mentally resurrected from the grave of ignorance about absolute nature and its laws that we must learn and practice for survival and liberation from enemy forces. Sound right reason, Nupu, is neither an individual spirit or spirits nor spirit gods or goddesses. Sound right reason is the best mind of the one supreme being called absolute nature, who is infinite in all directions and eternal. Sound right reason is mind energy of the all in all that emanates from the centers of the suns of universes and penetrates the persons, places, and things of the universes. Sound right reason changes the atmosphere we breathe and the way we think. Let it be written, always let it be known. Transcript of the tape number 59 in part. Okay? Not no aliens, not no spirits, not no Murdoch, not no Tahuti, none of that crap that y'all been told has nothing to do with sound right reason. Listen to reason. Right now, mental energies from the center of all what? Universe orbs, meaning the suns, the planets, and the satellites, not no extraterrestrials, people, are moving more positive toward what? Nupu. In addition, the negative force of nature that rule the bottom half of the smack circle of order, talking about spirits, have a positive side as well as a what? Negative side. And that positive side is partial, favorable to who? Nupu and Noon. Not no extraterrestrials, not no hermaphrodites, not no homosexuals. Okay? And this fact means that although Nupu's is not what? Spirit beings. So stop saying 9 ether spirit beings. Y'all are insane. In the bottom half of the order of the order circle, Nupu and Noon have what? Spirit beings aid and support and recognition, because spirit beings know even though they have created and supported religion for 6,000 years, it is time for us all, spirit beings included as well as human beings, to be taken upward in standards and values, qualities by what? Non-ether mentality, Nupu. Not taken up in a spaceship that never came. And also 9 mind what? Knowledge, which is what? Noon. Not Wu Sabat, not Wu NUWAUPIAN, not NUWAUPIAN, none of this crap, Sabians, none of that crap is what y'all supposed to be following. Simple. Counterclockwise, on the right side of the smack circle of order. Let it rip him, always let it be known. Mr. York has claimed to be incarnations of 6 ether Murdoch, Melchizedek, and 3 ether Tahuti, which are anti-Ethiopian African race members as spoken of in the Bible interpretation and explanation and the nature books. Sabians still worship and trust these things. There you go. Descended into slavery and torturers, hell and Hades. It now takes the right side spirits of the smart circular order to help us Ethiopian. Not them, not Murdoch, not Tahuti, not Osiris, not Isis, none of them. By race out of captivity and torture and back to liberation and freedom. Our type of freedom and our own type of society, which is what? Noon, not Wusabat. Surely those spirits who will work with Noon for our liberation. For what? Adverse forces are right side spirits. Not no aliens. Ethiopians by race cannot put any what? Confidence in their old gods and goddesses because they let us Africans by race down. Although it was predestined to happen according to the smart circular order. So all these forces here is the reason why Sabians and the rest of the world have messed us up as a race. They have not liberated black people. They only enslaved us in other people's religions, and religion in general. Transcript tape number 54. Mr. York has taught all his followers they have confidence in all those deities that dumped us into slavery from ancient times. That is why Mr. York is in prison, as his trust in those demon gods left him to suffer at the hands of the Pakakasu, as the Caucasians, as the Sabians say, the same way they set Esau Panthera up, Caesarion Ptolemy the 15th, also known as Jesus Christ, at the hands of the Romans. Y'all forgot about that? Y'all forgot that Jesus was the incarnation of the same gods the Hammurabi had? Y'all forgot about that? And they did what to him? Set him up. Remember, the M23 says plant stands alone as the heraldic logogram. Heraldic is adjective on the model of French. Heraldique from Middle English and Latin. Herald, see herald. It means what? Messenger. Envoy. See? A surname. Herald. Commander of an army, or a similar Germanic source from Proto-Germanic army. Root choral war, to command or rule. Let's go to the nature books. Listen to reason. Now that the universe orbs and bodies like the sun, earth, and moon are decreasing in 6th ether energy and mind, and increasing in 9th ether energy and mentality, someone has to herald and what? Usher in, command, and rule in this change from universe winter, the evolution cycle, to universe spring, the revolution cycle. See forms 1 and 2 in the 4-word topic. And that someone is who? Afro-Unu, not York. Once again, y'all have been played the writer and messenger of who? Nupu, whose science is noon. Like the correct information in the presentation. Moon set sunrise in part, page 35. Listen to reason. So then the conception of Nupu is the what? Beginning of 9 ether what? Mentality in the brains of the stars. Again, and the gestation of Nupu is the gradual increase and emanation of that what? 9 ether mind to the rest of the universe, including human beings. But someone amongst us, humans, has to be the what? The herald, the M23, the head messenger of the knowledge of this new cycle. Remember York said that Afro-Unu is the head in the Harvest book, that he gave Afro-Unu credit. All right, the head messenger of the knowledge of this new cycle and new order, person and thing. And Nupu what? Selected and appointed from amongst their posterity, Afro-Unu, not York. York was not selected by Nupu. York was possessed and selected by 6 Ether Murdoch and 3 Ether Tahuti to go against Alpha Uno and NUWAUPIAN, and qualified and authorized him to what? Write, circulate, and what? Propagate Noom. So there you go. Propagate means to teach it. So he was teaching it. Just because you, Garu, didn't see it, don't mean it wasn't happening. The science of beginnings and endings, plus the SMAT circle of cosmos, including the SMAT, Nature Book 2, page 167 in part. This also disqualifies York, who claimed he was here to raise 144,000 children to go on a ship with the Anunnaki reptiles that was supposed to take them since 2000, 2002, 2003, 2007, 2009. I even seen something that said 2013, 2030, and 2045. One of the deities Sabians and NUWAUPIANs were worshiping was Inky, whom York claimed he was his spiritual father. York claimed that Inky was his spiritual father. I forgot about that. These images come from NUWAUPIAnism.com. Mr. York taught that Inky was possessed by the sex force Leviathan. How can an alien be possessed by Leviathan? Beside the tablets, those who follow Inky, who was surrendering himself to Hindu deities called Leviathan, and surrendering to their customs and traditions, even when it's far to rage and protest. Ishtar also called Inanna to be a supreme deity called Singe or Sin. How does this make sense? How can an extraterrestrial fall victim to a religious group of humans? Make it make sense. Mr. York also taught Inky, his father, and NUWAUPIANs, God had sex with his daughter and granddaughter in his Black Book 2. And the reptilian side of Inky dominated the Anunnaki side, which made him more sexually active because reptilians enjoy sex with humans. They are constantly abducting humans for that main purpose. Inky was given into his reptilian side. He even went as far as having sexual intercourse with his daughter, granddaughter, and great-granddaughter, etc., just to bear a son so that the son could take Enlil's position or be in competition with the sons of Enlil. Again, following Zechariah Sitchin. The next definition of the M23 says leaf meant denote royalty, authority, dynastic power, and the family. In the people God races, the natural born leader was number 1 of each origin group of 72 members, and each successive leader was a natural born leader, or chosen by spirit beings of both. And this heritage of the firstborn, or best suited by nature leadership, was passed on to the kingship of the who? Tarkanoa race, also called the Ethiopian race, African race, and black race. Let it be remembered, let it be known. Introduction to the Nature Book 2, page 111 through 112. Just as there are forces that can foretell the future, there are also forces that can retrace the past. And Amanubi Rakapata, writer of Bible interpretations and explanation, has access to all forces necessary to retrace and foretell. And this fact made these books possible. One authorized and appointed by the force of nature is given connection and access to powers of what? The sun and moon, and powers of planet Earth. York claimed he got his powers from extraterrestrials, not the orbs, that he may take his place what? In the sun, meaning in universal affairs, and all of his kind, who are able to learn, understand, and accept universal knowledge and facts as disclosed by 9 ether, will also be given the same what? Connections and powers for realization and maintenance of liberty, justice, equality, rightness, to survive beyond Armageddon, the war short armor 2, right and wrong. See, that is very important. Here in the BIE tells you that Amanubi has access to past, present, and future, and to the sun, moon, and the earth. York is all the way disqualified. Bible interpretation, explanation, booklet 2, number 5. since 2014 to now that Mr. York was indeed lying about being Amenubi Rakapatah, and he admitted to now writing the Bible Interpretation Explanation Books 1 and 2 and the noun-bound counts. Okay? We already knew, we just didn't have the evidence prior to 2014, but we was working on it and we got it. All right, this is from Devon Wilhelm, who was one of the greatest debaters in our group. He said, "Is York Amenubi Rakapatah the author of Getting Behind the Noun Bone, a book they never had produced yet, and the Bible Interpretation and Explanation, BIAE booklets? Is York the chosen one and first in this day and time to reveal the word Nuwaupu? Nuwaupu, as he once claimed in some of his books in the 90s. Is York also Afro-Unu, the author of Nature writings? Nuwaupu will say yes, or they will say he only came to reform and renew information to right the wrong." So, once again, this is one of the letters. Next thing they're going, I asked why, and I'm told some lie, when in fact I am not the Amenubi of the Bible Interpretation Explanation. I'm just a messenger sent to renew, which really means to remix it and mess it up. Truth, that's all he is, and he is head of the NUWAUPIAN, one of the elders who guides my pen once again, like we said up here. Afro-Unu was the head. He's the herald. See? One has to be the herald. Look, the head messenger. So York is only claiming and tried to play it down. Now you in prison, all of a sudden, you just a messenger. No, you not. You as a sixth ether worker. Right? He claims that he says here, he is the head of NUWAUPIAN, which we know is Afro-Unu now. Afro-Unu did not guide his pen. He stole from Afro-Unu and still lying even while he giving a man credit. Murdoch can't be trusted. He's one of the elders who guides my pen. I ain't what people want me to be. That means you will follow them. If you what people want you to be, that's lame. I did not write Bible Interpretation Explanation or Behind the Noun Bone. I want to renew it, meaning he remixed it and changed it from what it was. Not to forget that Mr. York released a book called The Harvest, giving Afro-Unu credit for bringing the Nuwaupu. And it says right here, 173, they saw as the year 2000 that what I began to teach was unlike any other black leader. So they watched and waited to see if it was Wu Sabat. They knew about what? The Nuwaupu of Afro-Unu. See, so all of that lying for years didn't get Afro-Unu credit, misspell his name, and then still say he didn't have all the answers. But that's what the NUWAUPIAN's been saying for years. The Nuwaupu is it. The Nuwaupu is the science. The Nuwaupu got it all. All of a sudden, it don't have everything because he had to give the truth and the facts to Afro-Unu. Cold. So Mr. York was impersonating as the Pharaoh Amenubi Rakapatah Afro-Unu from 1991, 92 to present day. This will happen when you see a faker. False. Here's the proof of Mr. York, as stated over the years when he was out claiming that he was Amenubi Rakapatah. In the book Nuwaupu and Amenubi Rakapatah, Fact and Fiction, he says the purpose of this scroll was to give those people who question the very origin and the meaning of the words Nuwaupu and Amenubi Rakapatah a clear understanding of what they mean. Both words are introduced to the public in the Western world as far back as 67 AD, which is a lie. York was in prison from 1964 to 1967. He didn't introduce nothing. He was a Muslim and a gang member. Of course, we know that was a lie. And Mr. York was in jail from 1964 to 1967. He is one of Mr. York's slaves repeating the same lie with the earlier date. Right? This is January 26th of this year on Facebook. The lamb soon appears as the lion, seen by many, understood by few. Those who look for signs miss what stands plainly before them. The word became present, the son of revelation breathed. Now a maxim from Pandabar, the master. The maxim of Yanun, Pa, Mimimad, Bad At M Yanun, Yananin, the overseer, Ba Yananin, the way to salvation, right? He says is what? For you, all my beloved children of Wusabat, Wu, Nawap, Pa Nadir Amun Nabab, Ray Akta, see, still corrupting the word Amanubi Rakapata, presently known to you as Baba Yananin, appeared to you in Bashir, human flesh, in the year 1963. I have dark reddish brown skin color, woolly hair with eyes like flames of fire. That's again copying out of the book of Revelation, saying Jesus had eyes of flame of fire. Y'all are still in religion. York was not introducing nothing in 63 itself, being out in the streets, being a part of a gang, and caught a statutory rape charge and went to jail for 3 years. This is on record. So he's still telling lies. This 1963 date is a direct contradiction to Mr. York claims a man from Planet Rizq that the year was 1970. See? Man from Planet Rizq book. Then in 1970 was my time to what? Come in flesh. But he just said he appeared in flesh in 63. See that? See the lies? To come in flesh to start my work of what? Breaking the spell of sleep. Also called the spell of Leviathan or kingdom. The moon spell or lunatic state of mind with the power as the son of righteousness. All this is in the book of Malachi 4:2. Religion. He was a religious nutcase. Okay? Another mistake Mr. York states. Okay, up here, let me read this. He said the power of the son of righteousness, Malachi 4:2. Earth astronomers thought it was a comet, which they called Bennett, that appeared on March 16, 1970 AD, 4 months before my 25th birthday in June 26, 1970. The opening of the seventh seal, which marked the beginning of the Aquarian age, an astrophysicist named Ricardo Siakani set up a satellite from Kenya, Africa in the year 1970 AD to study X-rays in the sky for 3 years trying to map our comet. The satellite was called Uhuru, which in the African language called Swahili is freedom. Swahili is made from 2 different languages called Bantu and Arabic. That was a language created for a slave trade that occurred in Zanzibar between the Arabs and the scientists who were well aware of our comet called Bennett. Okay. Another mistake Mr. York states is that 1970 was the start of the age of Aquarius. Of course, this isn't true, but I took it to DuckDuckAI. I said noon signs by way of afternoon said February 5th, 1962. And Malachi York says 1970. Who is more accurate based on what you know? We're talking about the start of the age of Aquarius. So then, Clark responds, what actually happened February 4th to February 5th, 1962? This is automatically documented and verifiable. This is astronomically okay. On February 4th to the 5th, 1962, exactly when there was a new moon and a full solar eclipse, there was also an extraordinary celestial conjunction of the 7 primary planets, with the Earth, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were all visibly grouped close together, and their orbits were aligned with the Earth. The closest bunching of the planets on February 5th, 1962, at 12:11 a.m. London time, placed Mars at 02 Aquarius, Saturn at 03 degrees Aquarius, the Sun at 15 degrees Aquarius, Moon at 15 degrees Aquarius, Mercury at 16 degrees Aquarius, Venus at 17 degrees Aquarius, Jupiter at 18 degrees Aquarius, all within 16 degrees of each other. This conjunction of the Sun, Moon, Earth, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn transiting the sign of Aquarius happens but rarely, thousands of years apart. York's 1970 claim, There is no document extraordinary astronomical event in 1970 that supports it as a start date for the age of Aquarius. 1970 has no verifiable celestial basis in this record. What the astronomical record actually shows: the comet Bennett, partially verifiable. The comet Bennett was discovered December the 28th, 1969, and reached perihelion on March 20th, 1970, passing closest to Earth on March 26, 1970. So his March 16 date is slightly off. The comet was approaching perihelion around that date, but closest approach was March 26. Look, he off by 10 days. I told you he's a 9th grade dropout. He doesn't know nothing. Uhuru satellite, verified but with corrections. The Uhuru X-ray Explorer satellite was launched December the 12th, 1974, a platform off the coast of Kenya. It was named Uhuru, the Swahili word for freedom. However, Mr. York misspelled the scientist's name. It's Ricardo Giacconi. Again, he don't like to cite stuff that he takes from other people. A lot of times, he don't want you to see the race. Not Giacconi. Also, Giacconi was Italian, not from Kenya. He simply launched from a platform off Kenya's coast. Also, York says Uhuru was sent to study X-rays in the sky for 3 years trying to map our comet. Uhuru's actual mission was mapping celestial X-ray sources, providing first observational evidence for black holes. It had nothing to do with tracking human beings or York specifically. I wanted you to speak on how far off York was with the Aquarius age date being 1970. York's 1970 claim for the age of Aquarius has no astronomical basis at a starting date for an astrological age. Here's why. What an astrological age actually requires. An astrological age is determined by the precession of the equinoxes, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that moves the vernal equinox point backward through the zodiac over approximately 25,800 years. That is a measurable, trackable astronomical phenomenon. No single comet appearance or satellite launches any bearing on when that precession crosses from one constellation into another. Comet Bennett and Uhuru are irrelevant to the calculation. A comet passing through our solar system and a satellite being launched are local events. They have zero connection to the precession cycle that defines astrological ages. York used two real 1970 astronomical events and reframed them as markers of an age, but that is not how astrological ages are calculated by any method, ancient or modern. Compared to February 5th, 1962, right, which is the date Afro gave, on that date, Mars, Saturn, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter were all positioned with an Aquarius simultaneously. 7 bodies directed in the sign itself. The contrast is clear. 1962, 7 planets physically in Aquarius. 1970, a comet at closest approach in Aries. Afro's date has direct Aquarian astronomical support. York's date does not, even by the comet he himself cited as evidence. He put out in one of the books, Oatmeal and the Seventh Seal. Ridiculous. Religion. My research also revealed that Mr. York also co-opted and stole his 7th seal being opened because of the appearance in 1970. When you look into his L's Holy Injury, he brings it up. The date, it was 29 comets sighted, March 16, 1970, and last seen 1986. That's the comet Bennett. This guy here, Hal Lindsey, spoke about the comet in 1970 in his book. See Hal Lindsey and Comet Bennett. The context of this discussion. You can get that book if you want it. But it talks about apocalyptic interpretation. Lindsey suggested that the comet Bennett was a sign that aligned with his views on the end times, which frequently discussed in relation to biblical texts, biblical prophecy, all right, public engagement. This approach was a prophetic fulfillment emphasizing the importance and understanding the timeline of biblical events. Lindsay's discussion on comment Bennett was part of a broader narrative he presented to his audience, aiming to connect current events with scriptural prophecy. So this approach was characteristics of Lindsay's work, where he sought to interpret modern occurrences through a biblical lens, particularly focused on themes of prophecy and the imminent return of Christ. Again, York following Caucasian people who were religious and off as well. This concludes part 12.